Hello everyone, this is Famida Fakhruddin, the IC chair. I'm here today to show you how to create instructional program review proposal, CurriQunet Maverick, and launch it. So let's go to program review page where you can find the CurriQunet Maverick link. You can also get to CurriQunet Maverick by going to the faculty staff resource page, or you can type in CurriQunet on ABC website, and it will take you to this page, which is the public dashboard for CurriQunet, where you can find the resources for student learning outcomes, program review, and curriculum. Now, to create proposal for program review or any proposal you want to create, you need to log in. So I'm gonna log in here using my email address and password. Once I log in, I will come to my personal dashboard, which is the global dashboard, and you can personalize this global dashboard based on your preference, what you want to show up in here. But I will show you in some other time how to personalize your global dashboard. Now, for creating a program review proposal for instructional program review, I will hit this create new proposal button, and then I will go to the drop down list, and all the way down you can see comprehensive program review, and then you're gonna choose instructional comprehensive program review and say create. So once you do that, you're gonna come to the instructional program review form or template, and you can see here to the left all this section. These are exactly the same sections you have seen in the program review Word document template, which I have sent you, and we also posted on our program review page. Now, the three section here, the cover page, type of curriculum, and co-contributors, these three section, you're not gonna be able to see it on the Word document template, but you need to add information for these three section in CurriQunet to work on your program review and submit your program review proposal for instructional program review. Now, so for the cover page, there are four required information you need to provide. As you can see now, it is showing that two out of four required information is missing. So once you put all the information, this button will become green. And also it is saying you here two of four requirements remain. Now, for program review year, I just will choose this year for my program review, for example. And then this title is not required, but I would recommend that you would use a meaningful title. For example, I always advise that you should put the year of your comprehensive program review. That way, you know that which year this program review was completed. So I will put 2025, 26 economics program review. So once I do that, then I will do this year of last comprehensive review. So I believe it was 21, 22. And since I created this proposal, my name is showing up here as originator. Now I also can add my dean's name, and it is good to have your dean's name there. So I can add my dean's name, Angel Fuentes. And this is required information. I have to put the division, which is business and workforce, and the department I would choose is economics. And once I do that, here is the subject, and I can just choose economics from here, and I am done on the cover page. And as you can see, this green, this button becomes green. So I completed the 4 requirements on this cover page. Now, the good thing about CurriQunet Maverick is you don't have to remember to save whatever you are typing in or choosing. So, we used to do it for CurriQunet Meta. So, CurriQunet Maverick always saved it. You don't have to remember to save whatever you add in the form. Okay, so now I gonna move to the type of curriculum, which is important for instructional program review. So you need to select courses and programs you would like to include in this program review. So usually for comprehensive program review, we suggest that you should select all your degrees or certificate and as well as the courses, all courses in your program. So I gonna just choose my transfer certificate, which we have for economics. And once I do that, you also have to be careful or remember that there would be historical certificate showing up here. So make sure that you select the active degree or certificate. Okay. So here it is. So I found economics, associate in arts for transfer, active one. So once I do that, now, as you can see here, ideally, when you choose the certificate, your courses should be pre-populated here, down here under courses. But as I send you a video and I notified you that there is a functionality issue we are having with CurriQunet Maverick right now, and even though I notified the vendor, but they haven't fixed this issue yet. So I also showed you how to work it around for this problem. So I'm showing it again. So to have your courses be populated here, you need to refresh this page. So when I refresh this page, if you go to curriculum, like type of curriculum, as you can see now, I see my courses populated here. So I need to check the boxes that these are the courses I want to select. Now, this is also important that if you don't refresh this page, when you will be answering question for curriculum and student learning outcome and assessment section, the student learning outcome and the curriculum, the courses, list of courses will not be pre-populated in this section. So that's why it is important the way we design the program review module that uh, it can extract or it will extract information from assessment and curriculum module so that if you need to check anything, you can check. Okay, so that is the purpose. Now, once I do that, next thing I have to do is go to the co-contributors section. And this CurriQunet Maverick case, the co-contributor works a little bit differently than Meta. And so for choosing your co-contributors, you need to click on this form properties, right side, little bit top here. And once you do that, you need to type the name or the first couple of letters for the co-contributor you would like to add. So I would like to add Professor Rizzo uh, as a co-contributor. So I'm adding him here and I say add. Now, the good thing about CurriQunet Maverick is you can choose how much access you would like to give to the co-contributors. Like, for example, if I want to give Professor Rizzo all the access, that means access to all the sections to the left, I have to click his name and say check all. And if you don't want anybody or your co-contributor to access all the section, you can just choose the section, and that way you can just limit the access of the co-contributor to certain sections. Now, I also would like to add my dean here. The reason is always important to add your dean or your manager. The reason is that for program review, submission, or completion of program review, there is a section called Manager Vice President Prioritization, which you need to complete it by your dean. So that's why it is important to add your manager or dean. So I just would like to add Dean Fuentes, only the manager PP prioritization. So I will add him here. So I'm pretty much done. So just remember to add co-contributors before you launch the program review proposal, because you cannot add it after you launch the proposal. Okay, and also you can add as many co-contributor as you want. It doesn't have to be like, certain amount or quantity. So you can add people you may think they can be contributed to the draft. Okay, so once I am finished, so I just close this box. Now I am basically done with all this logistical information I have to put here. Now I can just start working on my real program review draft. So this is the first section overview, and as you can see, this is just like the program review template in the Word document you saw. So for answering any question, you have to check the box next to the question, and then you can copy and paste or type in your answer in here. So one thing I just want to point out that for CurriQunet Maverick, you can type in, you can create table, everything you can do in this text editor box, but only thing you cannot do right now is to copy and paste graphs. That means you cannot copy and paste an Excel graph into here. So that is the limitation of CurriQunet Maverick. Hopefully in near future we will be able to fix this issue. So once you finish answering all the question in this section, you can move to program set standard, and here you can just put your information, program information here, program success rate, program set standard, your program set success rate data already given to you. So once you finish, you can answer the question at the bottom by checking the box next to the question. Now, here is some data you can see based on success rate. And the thing you need to do is that you need to enter your own data. So we provided you the data in pre-populated template, back in last May. So the thing is, you can see here the data you are seeing. These are EBC's data. That means the average of all the programs we have at EVC. So this is the data, and this data I also provided to you in the Word template. And as you remember that there are 4 columns in each of the table, we provided to you with data. So first 2 columns are the data for your program, and last 2 columns are the data for EVC. So the last 2 columns data for each table are already pre-populated in this CurriQunet Maverick, as you can see. And only thing you have to do is copy and paste your data into CurriQunet Maverick. So you just check the box here, and once you check the box, this open up the box for entering your own data, so you can just copy and paste from the Word document into here. So once you do that, you can start answering the question based on your data and comparing with the UVC data. So when you finish this section, so program hours section is here. And for program hours, we already also provided you data. You don't have to go to data mart and get this data for you. I already provided you the data, so you can just enter your data and answer the question. Now, for student enrollment type section, student demographics, all and institutional effectiveness, all these 3 sections, you need to enter the data same way you did before, and then you answer the question at the bottom of the section. So once you've done that, you can move to curriculum section. And as you can see in the curriculum section, it is repopulating the courses in the discipline, courses in the program, you can see. And if you need to check any of the curriculum section of each courses in the program, you can just click on the course, specific course, and it will take you to the curriculum module, and you can check the information if you need to. Okay. And so to answer the question in this section, you again need to check the box. And once you check the box, you can type in your answer, or you can copy and paste your answer from the Word document. So after you finish this section, you need to go to student learning outcome and assessment section. And as you can see here, all your courses in the discipline, you can see, and also you can see your student learning outcomes for each of the courses. For our degree, the degree I chose, and if I scroll down all the way down, you can see here that there are questions, and for answering this question you can check the box and then copy and paste your answer or type in your answer. So once you do that, you move to next section, which is faculty and staff section, and you can answer the question here as well. And then next section you're gonna go to is additional information, and this section is optional. So if you want to brag about your program or something you want to share with us which we did not ask you, this is the place where you add those information. Okay, so now once you complete this, if you have anything to share with us, you can put here, otherwise you can leave it blank. And then you move to prior budget usage. So these 4 section you can see here: prior budget usage, future needs and resource allocation request, criteria for resource allocation, and manager vice president prioritization. So these are the section you need to answer because if you have any resource request, or you want to request fund or position this year. So these are the information you need to provide here so that your resource request would be forwarded to appropriate committee, like the budget committee or the faculty prioritization committee or the staff prioritization committee. So for this section, you need to talk about whether you received any resources through your last program review, comprehensive program review, or by submitting your annual update and resource request form last year. So then how much did you request? How much did you receive? And you have to give information that in which category did you receive the resources, if you have received any. So once you do that, you need to here select yes or no based on whether you are requesting for any resources this year. So if you are requesting for any resources this year, then you have to say yes, and then you need to answer these questions and place your request in the next three section. Okay, so for requesting any resources, maybe it is a classified position or faculty position or request for equipment, technology, or supplies, you need to create each request separately. So for example, I want to, or we want to request for a faculty position. So I'm gonna say add and then click position. Then from the drop down list, I would choose the category, so faculty members. Now in this box here, I need to give information how many faculty position I or we would like to request. So you have to put it here so that this information can be shared with the appropriate committee. So then once you do that, uh, you need to say whether there is any ongoing cost for this item. And for any position, faculty or classified position, there should be. So you say yes, then you need to put a ballpark number. Like for example, I'm gonna say 140 K for faculty position. It doesn't have to be exact. Okay. So now suppose I want to request for some supplies. So then I have to add here and say new item, and from the drop down list I can just say supplies, and then total amount. I have to put the total amount. For example, I need calculators. So if I need, for example, 10 calculator, and each one is like $50, so I'm gonna just put here 10 calculators at $50 each, equal to. So this type of itemized list you have to add here for budget committee. So usually for this type of request, like supplies, equipment, or technology, this is not ongoing unless you have software subscription or journal article subscription. So in that, you just say no, there is no ongoing cost. If you have ongoing cost, you should say yes, and then you have to put the ballpark number. If you say no, there is nothing, you have to put it here. And as you can see here at the bottom, it is showing what you are requesting, right? So once you finish that, you move to the next section. So whatever you request in future needs and resource allocation request section, you have to justify this in this section, criteria for resource allocation. So actually, we have 6 criteria for resource allocation. This is basically our college's resource allocation rubric. So budget committee use this rubric and our college used this rubric to allocate the resources. So how you can provide information, how best you can provide information, what they are asking in this question will determine whether you will be added to the top of the ranking list for budget committee or not. So one thing I want to tell you, which is that the budget committee updated criteria one, which is department background and performance narrative this year, and also the narrative or the question for additional resources, which is criteria 5 and criteria 6. So please make sure that you address their questions, like how details they want the information here, because these questions are more detailed questions than the previous year. Okay, so I want you to remember that, because these questions are a little bit more details. Okay, so we used to have like for six, like criteria 6, previous use of funds, you had just only one question. Now we have like five part of this question. And for additional resources criteria 5, we had one question or one part. Now we have two part. Okay, so just to make sure you remember to um, do so and pay attention that what these questions are asking. So once you are done answering these questions, and you are pretty much done actually your part, so basically now the last section should be completed by your manager. So once you are finished entering your answer for criteria for resource allocation, you should notify your manager or dean and say that the manager or dean can go in and complete this section. So the budget committee and IEC will not uh, sending over your resource request, or IEC will not send your budget request and you know through program review submission if you have not completed this manager VP prioritization section. That means your manager or VP has to complete this section before budget committee or IEC can forward it your resource request to the appropriate committee. So this is important that you remember to do so. So once your manager complete this section, you can just check everything one more time and you can launch your program review draft, like hitting this launch button. And once you are done launching it, this will come to IEC, and IEC reviewer will read your program review and will provide you feedback. And actually, at IEC, we are very excited to know about your program and learn about what are the great things you are doing for our student, for our college. And frankly, as the IEC chair, this is the best thing I get to do, or I get to learn about different programs. So I love this part of my job. So that's all pretty much. So I will see you next time with another video. Thank you all for staying with me, and I will see you next time.